Buna bak bir tek konuşacak. Fiyatı aldım. Onun fiyatı bana bir kadar teşekkür ederim. Myanmar'a uçması, orada kalması, geri dönmesi için güçlü bir
Anladım. Video, no? Good morning, good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes. I am Venkat from sesaminfo.in. It's a great pleasure to invite you all to this year's Trade Talk Series 1, organized by sesaminfo.in. In this, we are going to discuss Now I would like to introduce our speaker, Mr. Davil Raninga. He is from ETG Export Trading Group. Mr. Davil is a trader handling Sesame. He has done his MBA in international business. He is working with ETG for the last 8 years in the Sesame and Peanuts department. In all, he is having a total experience of 11 years in trading, supply chain, and logistics. We encourage all the delegates participating in this forum to use the chat facility to ask questions, which will be taken at the end of the presentation. Over to Mr. Dhaval Reninga. Mr. Dhaval is there? Over to Mr. Dhaval. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Venkat, for introducing me. And thank you, Sesame Info team, to organizing this TED Talk. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the participants who join from all around the world. So, shall we begin with the presentation?
Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
Shall I share my screen?
No, I will share from my side. PPT is ready.
Okay.
Yes.
So hope I am audible now, Mr. Venkat.
Yes.
So again, hello all of you. I'm presenting on Tanzania and Mozambique Sesame Outlook 2023. Before beginning the presentation, this is the disclaimer. The presenter and ETG cannot be held liable for any losses occurring to anyone by trading on this statement on the view. Next slide, please. These are the content I will cover in my presentation. The first one is Tanzania crop outlook 23 estimate along with the export data of the 21 and 22. Mozambique crop outlook 23 estimated, logistics situation in the Tanzania and Mozambique, both the countries, and major clues. Next slide, please. So let's begin with the Tanzania crop outlook 23 estimated. The sowing starts in Tanzania for the sesame seed in the December, and the harvesting starts in during the April. So the weather condition was perfectly okay and suitable for the sesame seeds. There is no excess or less rain in this season. But during the last year, farmers sowed the seeds and rain was delayed. So this year, farmer waited for the full weather forecast. And after the rain, they started the sowing. So this year, we have seen a little delay in the crop arrival. If we look at the history of the Tanzania crop flow, sesame started flowing in the market from April, but today we are almost end of the May. there is no major auction started specifically in South. So the prices for the sesame were higher as compared to the other competing crop like sunflower seeds and soya. So farmer get more motivated to plant sesame seed specifically in this year in the north region. There is no change in the government policy, and the taxation structure is the same as the last year. Apart from that, the government is pushing towards the auction system, more region into the auction. So Tanzania has, if you look at the map, there are three varieties of sesame seeds. Tanzania North having mixed seed, which will region will cover like Dodoma, Morogoro, Sumbawanga, and many more. Tanzania white sesame seeds is mainly from the Beya and Songwe, and many more. And the Tanzania South sesame seeds mainly preferred by the China market, which is Lindi, Matwara, Masasi, Tunduru, and many more. So northern region saw a sharp decline supply in the last season, but this season we can expect a very better crop in the specifically in the north. South will be remain in fears with the auction, and the buying subsidiary from China always disturb the existing trade by working on cost plus model. There are many Chinese companies are working with some agents in China. They are working on the cost plus basis model. So these are the agents are more motivated towards the quantity because they are working on the volume basis. Irrespectively, they don't care about the quality of the seeds and price and admixture in the cargo. Yes, due to this, many Chinese subsidiary has faced a good amount of the loss once the cargo arrive at the destination with the high admixture, with the high price. But this will not stop here. There are many more companies started coming into the market and doing the same cost plus model. So this will remain disturbance with the regular Tanzanian sesame exporter. So if you look at the sales channel from Tanzania, the open sales and the auction sales data, which is given from 2020 to 2023. In 2020, total exports around 140,000 ton, 2000 around 130,000 ton, 2022 around 120. And this year we are expecting better than the last year. It's a good crop. It's around 135,000 ton. So auction part will be remain same, and but open sales area, which is Tanzania North quantity, will be better than the last year. Next slide, please. So these are the some Tanzania sesame export data 2021 and 22. In 21, around 132,000 ton exported, and 22 around 120,000 ton. If you look at the destination wise, is China is dominating the Tanzania sesame market, like 82 to 85% of the cargo is going to one destination, China, and second destination is Japan, and there are very few quantity going to other destinations. Next slide, please. So let's look at the Mozambique crop outlook on 23. It's estimated mainly divided in the two corridor, which is northern area and the central belt. Northern area is the Nakala belt, Nampula side, and the central area, which is mainly the Beira side. If you look at the weather condition, yes, the central Beira and the Malawi border, some of the area was affected due to the cyclone, but northern has a very good crop this year due to the good rain. In previous year, the central Mozambique, Beira region sesame crop flow was much better than the northern belt because Nakala belt has having a less rain, but this year it seems the northern area will cover the quantity of the damage quantity from center belt. In the crop side, there are on the same side, yes. In the northern area, Mozambique, some of the region like Moinda, where sesame plantation was decreased in last 2 years due to the terrorist activities. But this year, plantation of the sesame has been done this region as well in the northern part. The season will likely witness a recovery in the good export numbers. Zimbabwe crop percentage is likely to be more in this year in Mozambique export numbers. Just as discussed, Central Belt area supply loss has been compensated by the northern region, but still the Central Belt area has a more crop flow, so dependency on the Beira port will be more. The cyclone impacted area is the Malawi border. One part is northern area and two part is central belt. The delay we are likely to be very less. If you look at the export tentative numbers from out of the Mozambique, 2020 to 2023, 2020 around 120,000 ton, 2021 105,000 ton, on 22 only 80,000 ton, but this year we are expecting better than the last year, around 90,000 plus crop. Next slide, please. So these are the Mozambique sesame growing region. If in the first slide I mentioned that there are the two area, mainly north and the central part. If we look at the arrow in estimation, it upward means the crop is better than the last year. If the arrow is going right side with the more or less similar, and downside arrow is the three area is the cyclone affected area, mainly the Malawi border and the two part of the central right. So if we look at northern area is a good crop, and the central Beira side is, yes, it's a cyclone affected area. That's why there is a little less than the last year, but still the crop flow is better than the north. So if we took up the percentage wise, the 60% or more than the central side and northern side will be cover 40% of the total Mozambique. Next slide, please. If we look at the logistic situation out of these two countries, Tanzania, there is a scarcity of the 20-feet container because more imports are coming into the 40-feet containers only. There can be a shipping line, it can be a freight, can be more or less same for the 20 or 40 because 20 is a very scarcity. The major shipping companies like CMA, Marks, and all these are reducing their voyage from Tanzania. Vessels are coming now fortnightly instead of weekly. But the port infrastructure in Tanzania is better, and freight rate are also lower than the Mozambique. So we don't foresee any congestion in the Tanzania port. If you look at the Mozambique, the container availability 20-feeter is, yes, very limited. But in terms of the logistic situation, Mozambique is much improved compared to the previous year in terms of vessel availability. Although the freight rates in Mozambique is still not down compared to the neighboring country like Tanzania, but yes, there is a ease in freight rate compared to the last years. Next slide, please. So these are the major clues we cover from June 23 to September 23. If you look at the bullish part, then yes, West Africa carry out is almost nil. Only the processor are holding the stock for the processing line. Pipeline stock with the processor in all major destination is less owing to sudden surge in the prices. So all the processors are booking the hand-to-mouth cargo. Sudan supply will remain disrupted. If you look at the bearish view, that the crop outlook is very good for the Tanzania, Mozambique, and Indian summer crop. The Pakistan crop will also come prior to the major winter crop, which can bring the excess supply. So Pakistan is also anticipating a very good number of the crop. Yes, if the Sudan situation resume in short time, then there can be a plenty of supply will expect out of the Sudan, because Sudan has the tendency to hold Cargo normally as per the hedges, currency hedge, but by look at the political situation of the country, if the situation will resume, then no one will hold the cargo. People will hurry to move out the cargo out of the country. As China is also anticipate a substantial augmentation in the domestic crop plantation. China is anticipating a good rise in the domestic crop as per the recent news. So if you look at the summaries, Sesame supply from Tanzania, Mozambique, Indian summer crop, and followed by the Pakistan can turn the market bearish in a short time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Deval, for such a crispy and nice presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Venkat.
Yes. Now we'll move on to the question and answer section. The delegates can either place their questions in the chat box or they can raise their hands. Mr. Deva, you have mentioned that the Tanzania crop size in 2023 is likely to be around 135,000 tons.
Yeah.
In that, how much will be of white and how much will be of mixed?
How much will be a white and how much can be a mix?
Yes.
If you look at this southern area, it can be a 90,000 ton for the south grade. So the Tanzania South grade quantity traded as separate as the Tanzania South. If we look at the Tanzania North and the white, it can be a majority of the mixed system seed out of 45,000 ton. It can be around 12 to 15,000 ton can be a white and majority 30,000 can be a mixed quantity.
Okay. South Tanzania, out of 90,000 tons, how much will be of white?
Tanzania South grade traded is a Tanzania South only.
There is no specification on that one. Okay, okay. It's called Tanzania South only.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the presentation. Just to verify, the Tanzanian South, that's generally white? In general, is that generally white?
Yes, Tanzania South is generally is the whitest quality, but it depends upon the application because the Tanzania South has a high lignin percentage. So in China is the most favorable seeds due to the taste and their applications.
Okay, clear.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And which one comes first? The first north, they start north and go up south, right?
Yeah, yeah. Normally it comes from north and then south.
Okay. Very good. Until when does the crop proceed in Tanzania, Mozambique? Like they start, I understood that north has started and then south will start later. Till what's the period? What period we're talking about?
Tanzania North Sesame has been started, but very limited flow. Tanzania South is almost 100% on the auction basis. So auction will remain to start soon. So it can be around maximum 1.5 months after that, once they start.
And how do you see the auction affecting the local market and the international market? Because auctions never been really very favorable for business, because they how do you see that affecting the prices in Tanzania? I don't know if Mozambique has the same system, by the way, but I think What's your take on that? Is that something that is favorable, or you think it's just making the prices locally very high because of bidding?
Yeah, it's an auction system, so all the suppliers can bid. It's not normally the south prices is always traded higher than the regular sesame. So it's the Chinese is the there are, as I mentioned in the presentation, there are many Chinese buyers started covering directly from the origin. So they are taking directly cargo from the origin. So they always keep higher than the market price.
Okay. And regarding the Pakistani, because I'm sorry, you might show it. I came in a bit later, so that's why I'm asking. How
Yeah.
big is the Pakistani crop generally?
Pakistani crop, I cannot comment right now. It's early to say, but as per our industry partner and presence in Pakistan, they are also talking about a very good crop. It can be 150,000 ton or more. Last year crop was almost 150,000 ton, but due to the weather effect, it was damaged, and but still is around more than 100,000 ton. So we can expect this year they are expecting a good amount of crop. It can be 150 plus, it can be 170, but this is the early to say.
Sir, one question from Mr. Gaspar Morusa. Is there any cargo moving out of Sudan at the moment at all?
Yes, whoever have the ports stock in Port Sudan, that cargo is moving, but moving cargo from Khartoum to Port Sudan is not feasible. Right?
One question from Mr. Tucker. Which quality is better, Mbeya or Tanzania South?
It depends upon the application of the usage.
Hello.
Yes.
The next question is from Sanjay Shah. Mozambique quality when compared to Tanzania quality, which is comparable?
As I mentioned, it cannot become. Mozambique seeds are not that much white as compared to the Tanzania South and white grade, but the Mozambique seeds are very sweeter in the taste. So, so many of the Middle East and maybe Turkey and Israel market are having, they demand a Mozambique seed because of the taste, because the application of the usage is different. You want for the tahina and halwa. So for tahina and halwa, they prefer not only the appearance, but the taste also matter.
Okay. The next question is from Mr. Mukul Gupta. If Sudan situation does not improve, what could be the impact in terms of volume? Traditionally, what was Sudan's export during the period May to September?
In terms of Sudan export, I cannot comment overall month how many metric ton going to which country. But yes, in China numbers, it took historically, China is receiving around 15 to 18,000 ton from Sudan every month.
See, if Sudan, they are not able to export for the next couple of months, what could be the impact in terms of total volume? Because normally Sudan exports in excess of 4 lakh tons, correct?
Yes.
So what will be the disruptions in terms of volume? Because exports are not taking place for the next few months, because already it is more than a month. We are not seeing any movement.
Yes, we have already seen the reaction of the market after the Sudan situation. The price suddenly jumped up in the all the origin, all the And the Middle East and all this market are also started panicking because they suddenly stopped getting the cargo from the Sudan. But yes, there are the plenty of supplies also coming. It was the phase because the West Africa has the short crop and suddenly the Sudan situation happens. So it was the tight of the supply. But now we are watching the all 3, 4 origins are coming with a good amount of the supply.
Okay. The next question is from Sheetal Thakkar. When do we expect offers from Tanzania?
Tanzania offers already started in the market by different suppliers.
What is the
But
current
there
price?
But there are very few offers in the market because cargo flow didn't start.
Okay. So based on the current scenario, current situation, international scenario, where do you see the prices starting? Is there any idea on that one?
I cannot comment on the exact price idea, but yes, currently due to the short supply, the market started panicking and prices are getting higher. But in coming scenario, once the crop flow will increase, the prices, it can be a softer in short time because that destination market are also has suffered a lot with high prices we have seen from last couple of months. So they don't have appetite to uh, keep on buying at a very high price. So they also want to stop at some level, like mixed grade, they cannot buy at 1900 level. So even the 1800 level, sometimes because they don't have choice, they choose to buy.
So why Mozambique crop is on a declining trend? Because from 1,20,000, now it has declined to 90,000 or 80,000. What is the reason behind that one?
And the reason behind before last 2, 3 years, we have seen the sharp decline in the one is the due to the weather condition. Last year there was a drought in the northern side, and due to the in the north side there are so many due to the terrace activity, there are reducing in the crop size. And this year also we have it's a good plantation, but this year also we have faced a cyclone in the Malawi border region. But yes, other competing crop are also there is a reason like soya and all this.
One more question from Mr. Sandeep. Approximately how much quantity of Chinese buying directly from Tanzania and Mozambique?
Sorry, that cannot be we cannot figure out that number because there are many Chinese buyers, they are buying directly buying from Boost on daily basis because there are different companies.
One second. One more question from Mr. Rakesh Paul.
Mhm.
When are you expecting first arrivals of new crop from Tanzania to Chinese ports?
Tanzania to Chinese port, we are expecting it can be June, it can be started shipping, though transit time can be hardly 30 days. So it can be start in the July itself. By mid-July or by end July.
Okay. So there is a question from Shaurabh Avate.
Okay.
So when you compare South America versus Africa, Tanzania, which one better? Basically, which are pesticides free?
It's again, I will talk the same matter. It's depend upon the application of the usage of the customer or end user. Like South America crop has the bold seeds and pesticide free. Yes, Tanzania is very difficult to find a pesticide free cargo. Even in south, and there are only north area, some of like Dodoma and all this area, they are pesticide free region, but yes, agrichemical usage are still increasing in Tanzania. So from Tanzania, it's very hard to find a pesticide free cargo because that whole market is mainly dominated by the Chinese. So we can see almost 85% cargo is going to the China one destination. So, and farmers are also getting a good price from the south, and specifically from Tanzania South and all this. So they don't care about the pesticide, not to use a pesticide and all this.
So one question from Mr. Mukul Gupta. What
Yes.
is the size of hulled industry in Tanzania and Mozambique? Any idea on that one?
On Tanzania, I doubt there are the size of the hulled any companies are doing. It can be one or few, but in Mozambique, there are 2-3 companies. Like the size of the, if you look at the production capacity, it can be around not more than 10 to 12,000 ton yearly.
Okay. So in the first 4 months, China's imports are lower when compared with last year. Where do you see the Chinese imports in the coming months? It will be much better than last year or lower than last year?
Yes, first 4 months Chinese import are less because of the West Africa was there is a shortage of supply. So during now China, we will see the plenty of supply will come from the all this new region. So we might see a good supply from all this origin to the China on the next second half.
Okay. So where do you see the overall global consumption, considering higher inflation and higher interest rates and uncertain economic outlook? Already Germany is in recession.
Correct.
So where do you see the overall consumption trend, global consumption trend? Whether there will be a declining trend or what is that?
Overall global consumption can be, but we don't foresee a global consumption trend. And specifically, if we talk about only the Sesame industry, so China is the major consumer. So we don't foresee a major declining trend in the consumption. But yes, due to the higher price, there can be a blending in the oil and all this. So if we look at the prices of the sesame will high, so it can be a start blending of the other seeds oil. So overall consumption can be, it's not lower, but the import side can be lower. It can be replaced by the other commodity, oil seeds.
Okay. One question from Dennis. When are we expecting first arrivals of Mozambique and South Tanzania to Turkey?
Tanzania South, I doubt If you look at the export data, we don't see Tanzania South is imported by the Turkey because mainly it's going to China only. This is a very high price cargo, and if Turkey is looking for the very good quality in terms of not only white but the taste also. The taste wise will be much better. Is Mozambique is better. So the first arrival, if we can see from Mozambique. So Mozambique shipment cannot be before July.
Before July, okay.
Yeah, by end June or before July. So it can be arrival in the August or November or something like that.
This year, how much Mozambique is going to produce in overall? How many tons Mozambique is going to produce?
It can be, as per our estimated, 90,000, right?
90,000 tons. Okay. Where do you see the currency factors? Is there any impact on the currency factor last year and
In
all? There was a
currency,
problem
yeah.
with respect to currency. So,
But this year we didn't see any currency movement in Mozambique Meticas from last 2-3 months is similar. And on Tanzania also in the range of 2,400 level, 2,369 level. So it's more or less stable. We didn't see any much fluctuation.
so that's a good news. Unlike last year, this year we are seeing
Yes.
stable currency. So it may not have any impact on the export price, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Any other questions from the audience? One question from Alok Bhargava. Currency factor of China affecting market, whether it will affect the markets or not. He has questioned that one. Because China currency is at an oil, it's above 7 against the yuan.
Sorry, can you please come again the question?
Currency factor of China affecting market, whether this will affect, have an impact on the market.
Yes, on the consumption side, it definitely affecting. If the China currency will affect, then it can be an importer having the effect on their costing. So that can be affect.
Okay. Any other questions from our delegates? Vijay, he wants to ask something or no? So any other questions from the delegates? You can either raise your hands or place it in the chat box. One question from Mr. Sahid Noor. What is the average oil content in Tanzania and Mozambique, Sesame?
It's around 52%.
For both, it is 52%?
Yes, for both.
Okay.
50 to 52%. It can be a minimum oil content.
Considering higher prices, normally China imports most of the Tanzania and Sesame, Tanzania and Mozambique crop. This year the prices are on the higher side, and that's normally China is a price conscious. So this year, whether China will bulk of the products from Tanzania and Mozambique, or what is that?
And this year, yes, because of the shortage of supply, the prices are currently high. But if this will continue in the origin level, then China can stop buying from this. So this will affect in origin as well, because origin has the biggest buyer is China. So definitely it will correct in the prices at origin as well.
Okay. So if China is not buying in much, then there could be a decline in prices.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions from the delegates? One question is from Mr. Mukesh Jain. Is FFA affect the taste of the sesame?
Is FFA?
Affect the taste of the sesame? Whether it will impact the taste on the sesame?
Yeah, definitely is affect the taste of the sesame, but on the processor side, they cannot process the higher FFA sesame.
Okay. So where do you see the price going forward, maybe in the next 3 months? Is there any idea on that one? From the current levels, how much it can go further? Or it will come down? What is your assessment on that one?
Our assessment, I cannot comment on the exact price, but if we considering this market can solve, then it can be a mixed grade price, can be a 1700 to 1800 level.
Okay. So what about white grades?
It can be about 1715 to 1850 level maximum.
Okay. So the prices may remain relatively on the higher side. It may not come down drastically.
The current prices are quite higher for the Tanzania South and Wide. But it
Okay.
can be, so I gave you the range. It can be a higher side, can be a maximum like that.
Okay, okay. Question from Ashok Kumar. What is the transit time from Mozambique and Tanzania to China?
Tanzania to China transit time is around 25 days.
Tanzania to China is 25 days. What about from Mozambique? That is also same?
It can be a little bit higher. It's around 30 days or 35 days. It depends
Okay.
upon the shipping lines.
Okay. Mrityunjay Kumar, which quality is better, whether it is Lindi or Matwara?
It's all in the south region.
Yes.
So people are selling as a south. People are not sells as a region wise. Lindy seeds and all this.
What is the average freight from Mozambique and Tanzania to Twin Dog Port?
So I cannot comment on the freight. It's depend upon the every exporters contracts between the shipping line and all this. But yes, I can comment on this that Tanzania freight is getting better
Okay.
to China. But Mozambique freight is there is a ease, but it is not that much down level.
Okay. So any idea of how much quantity left out in Sudan still yet to be exported?
Quantity left in Sudan.
Yes. Because the season has started.
Comment on the
almost,
numbers,
yes.
but there definitely a good amount of the, because Sudan has the tendency of more than 100,000 ton or 150,000 ton keep on as hold as a hedge as a currency. So that many quantity which is lying in Khartoum, it doesn't export it yet. If the
Okay.
situation remain stable, then the people will not hold the cargo due to this
Okay.
uncertainty.
So is there any old crop, previous season crop available with Tanzania and Mozambique?
No,
Oh.
there is no carryover stock.
No carryover stocks, okay.
No.
Any other questions from the delegates? I think we can wind up this section. Thank you, Mr. Dawal Raninga, for such a wonderful presentation and answering all the queries of the delegates in an elaborate manner. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Venkat.
Yes, sir.
And thank you all of you. Thank you.
Thanking you all the delegates for participating in this webinar. We would like to see you next time. You can use the chat facility. This will be open for another 5 minutes. You can interact and you can use this chat facility for 10 minutes.
Sir, will you be sharing this presentation, please?
Can you move voice one? Ko move voice one? Okay, on record. Let me go move voice one. Ko soro. Nti ande kene that one. Okay, on record.
What I could good picture in consider.
Voice one. Yeah, the first time. The first time. Damn it, Abby. Okay. We can voice. No.
So we have to come over.
Sukan. Okay. What I could do, you know, assistant. Do I president and assistant?
So one then. We are putting master. We are putting master.
Which way? Oh my God.